Howdy, Beefalo Bart here, and in this video we're going to pick up where we left off from the last one. And if you haven't been watching any of the videos in the series, I do recommend you go back to number 1, you watch it, listen to what I got to say on that one, and remember that if you are wanting to follow along with this project the way that I'm doing it, you need to be a member of my Discord channel, and I will make sure that you get a link to download the original project file, so you have these 3 guns and you have the animations in that project. And it's simple, it's easy, it's 844 megabyte download, and it's going to quickly get you into being able to create a first person / third person shooter with 3 decent guns, just to get you started off with. Now these are just temporary stuff, but it'll get you rocking and rolling. So I'm going to hit play, and we're going to look, and those are the 3 guns. We got some stuttering on the animation, but again, that's something we're going to fix. We're just doing this one step at a time. Pick up the pistol, it throws it on my hip. I pick up the MP5, it throws it on my back. I pick up the AK, it also throws it on my back. So we have 3 different weapon slots that we can use for right now, and we can also hit the V key and change from third person to a first person view. So we can run around, be awesome. We can run around, be awesome. But now what we've got in place is whenever you have a rifle equipped, it changes to a rifle animation blueprint. When you have a pistol equipped, it changes over to a pistol animation blueprint. So we have all those already set up from the previous videos. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go into player_base, and we have already set up our action keys for being able to cycle through weapons 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we're going to go ahead and call those in. And the first one was primary weapon. Primary. And let's make sure that's what we got. Come back over here to our project settings. Go to our input. Open up our action mappings. Aha, because I are stupid, I forgot a Y on primary weapon. I make typos from every so often, and I don't speak so good at English, even though I did my primary language. So there we go. Primary weapon. We're going to grab that, and we're going to go ahead and just pick up the other 2 real quick. And that was going to be secondary weapon. And I believe the other one we called handgun. Hold. So we'll have these already out so we can just quickly move into them. How is this going to work? Since we have 3 different weapons, and we need to be able to pull the weapon out and put the weapon back away. So for now, I'm just going to drag these 2 out of the way, but we'll already have them available to get started on. We're going to need to, and we'll try this with a flip-flop and see if that actually works. So we'll drag off from there and type out flip. Now, what a flip-flop is going to do, if you don't remember from me mentioning it before, is now whenever I hit the number 1 key, it's going to deploy my weapon from my number 1 slot, my primary weapon. And that's going to be for us the MP5. Now, whenever I hit the number 1 key again, it's going to put it back away. So we now have 2 options that are going to take place when we hit the number 1 key. And the first thing we're going to need to do is get our variables here. We need to get, this is primary, so we need to set rifle equipped. Alright, so when we're doing that, when we pull our rifle out from number 1 slot, it's going to go ahead and say, okay, we have a rifle equipped. And that's going to change our animations. Now, we need to do the same thing here with unarmed, and we're going to go ahead and put that on the B on the flip-flop, and we're going to set unarmed. To be on the safe side, even though it may or may not be necessary, I am going to do the same thing. I'm going to drag unarmed to here and rifle equipped to here. I'm going to link that up. So essentially what it's going to be, and we're going to do a couple things here also, and another one with the pistol. And we're going to go ahead and grab pistol equipped the same way. Again, this may or may not be necessary, but it's not going to hurt anything. So we have them linked up. Whenever I hit the number 1 key the first time, it's going to set rifle equipped, which is going to change our animation. And then when I hit it again, it's going to change us back to our unarmed animation. But it's also going to make sure that I'm turning off unarmed and I'm turning off the pistol animations. We just want to make sure. We want to kill them off and make sure they're not going to be there. So let's test this and see what happens. And then we'll test it without. So we're good to go. We hit the number 1. It changes to the rifle animations. Hit it again and we go back to our regular animations. And we can do it on the fly. So awesome. That works. So we know our animation switching is working. And to see if that actually works without having these on here, I'm going to go ahead and delete them. What the heck, you know? I don't think we do, but worst case scenario, we put it back. So, okay, we're running around, everything's good to go. Hit number 1, hit number 1, and you see it fails. So that's why I say it's always good. It's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So on the rifle equipped, we need to go ahead again and we need to drag out pistol, unarmed, and pistol and rifle. So when we hit and get the rifle equipped, we are telling it to turn on the rifle equipped, turn off pistol equipped, and turn off unarmed. When we hit it again, we want to turn on unarmed. And then we want to also turn off pistol equipped. Now, this may or may not seem like it's a necessary thing, but I'm actually going to break the links here. And I'm actually going to switch it around. I want to turn things off first before I turn things on. Again, not 100% necessary, but it seems to work and it seems to usually take care of some other issues. So again, let's compile. Let's save. And again, whenever I hit number 1 key, it turns off these two, turns on that one. When I hit it again, it turns off these two and turns on that one. And let's see if that makes any difference. Okay, I'm running around. I changed. Lovely. Okay. So we know that that works. I'm going to go ahead and hit save all. I am going to open up my player base again. And here's where it can become interesting, but we don't need to do anything else with this right here just yet. But what we're going to do is when we hit the number 1 key, we want to see if we can drag it in from this. MP5 picked is going to have spawn actor, the MP5, and it's telling us to go into that. So we really can't use that because it's going to automatically tell it to go to that slot. So let's go ahead and we'll make a new function for it, but we're going to make it look just like this. In fact, we can come in here and grab these 4 items, Control C, and then we can close that window back. And then we can come right over here, Control V, and we can paste that in here. And what I'm going to do is, since I like everything neat and organized, I'm going to drag these guys out of the way. We'll re-highlight these guys. Let's go slide it right on over here. Do that. And I'm going to change slot 1 over to main underscore hand. So now when we hit number 1, it's going to deactivate those 2 animations and turn on that animation. And we'll do this again. We'll control V. We'll connect that over to here. And we'll move it over here so we can get it a little bit neater. And then this already says slot 1, so it's good to go. And since I like things neat, this is going to bug me to no end. So with it zoomed out, I can kind of see my spaghetti noodles a little bit better. Fair enough. And then I'll go ahead and highlight that. And we're going to go ahead and make a comment on that. And we're going to call this primary weapon swap or selection. So now when we hit the number 1 key, it is going to equip our MP5 from the back, and it is going to put it in our hands and put us in the right animation mode. Alright, cross your fingers, let's see if this works. Pick up the Glock, we're still good to go. Pick up the AK, we're still good to go. Pick up the MP5, we're still good to go. We're going to hit the number 1 key, and what did we forget to do? We forgot to delete it off of our back. So that's one thing we're going to have to fix. But as we see, we have it in our hands. Hit the number 1, and it takes it out of our hands, in theory, and puts it back in our back. So it doesn't take it out of our hand and doesn't take it off of our back yet, but it does change our animation states. It's a good start. So how do we get rid of them? That'll be for the next video, but what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to set up this same system right here to work for this and this. So we can actually make it easier. We can copy this, move this over here, Control V, connect it off to pressed, move it in, and we're going to have to reorder a couple things. We know we're going with secondary weapon, which is the number 2, which is going to be our AK. That's going to be fine. That's going to be fine. We're just going to have to come over here and change the MP5 weapon to AKM weapon. Same thing here. And we need to change this to slot 2. And that's going to be fine. And that's all we need to do for that one. So we'll go ahead and do that. Right click on it, create comment, and secondary weapon equip. And then, technically speaking, we can do the same thing for our pistol, but then we're going to have to make a few other changes. Go ahead and connect that flip-flop up to the pressed. Let's drag it down a little bit to give us a little bit of room. And then we're going to come up here and we're going to break this link, break that link, uncheck that, break that link, and break that link. We're going to switch these around. So pistol equipped is checked. Connect that back to there, there, and back to here. Come on, quit being a butthole. Same thing for here. We can just drag this from here and go directly to No, we don't need to change anything on that one, because that's just going to return us back to the unarmed state. And then we need to change our weapon over to G17 weapon, G17 weapon. We need to change this over to holster, and main hand, that can stay the same. So that in theory should be good to go. So we just need to go ahead and put that in a quote box. Handgun equip. Alright, so this in theory should work for all of this, and then what we'll do is we'll come back in the next video and we'll make sure that we remove the weapons from our hands and from our backs and holsters and the other locations. So let's go ahead and check. Yes, I know. We need to do another check, because what I just did was I hit the number 3 key and it automatically gave me a Glock. So that's something we'll have to fix, because right now as it stands, the way we're doing that, if I hit the number 1 key, it automatically gives me an MP5, and then if I hit it again, it puts it on my back and it keeps the one in my hand. Yeah, a little bit of troubleshooting here and there. So if I hit the number 2, it puts an AK in my hand, but if you look, I still have the MP5 as well. And if I hit number 3, it gives me a pistol, and I still have the 2 rifles in my hands. So what we'll do in the next video is we'll go ahead and we'll tell it to get rid of the guns from the different locations, and that way whenever we are going from, okay, I just walked over here, I have a pistol, I got a gun, if I want to equip my pistol, it draws it from my hip and removes it from my hip, puts it in my hand. When I hit the number 3 again, it puts it back on my hip and takes it out of my hand. So that's what we're going to do for the next video. Hopefully I'm making a little bit of sense, because I am getting kind of tired, don't feel really well, but we'll go from there. Alright, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.